Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us today for the TDL March Forum. Just as a reminder, we will be recording this session and making it available in the TDL DSpace repository after the meeting. And also, if you have any questions during the forum, please feel free to add those to the chat window. We'll have time afterward, but if you'd like to ask anything in between, please feel free to do so. And I'm Laura Waugh, the marketing coordinator, and I'm joined today by Ryan Steens, our assistant director, and Christy Park, our executive director, and also Courtney Mumma, our services manager. And go ahead and get started today. Okay, and today we'll have some preservation service updates from Courtney Mumma and also some general community updates and upcoming events. So I will go ahead and pass it over to Courtney now, and thank you so much.
Thank you, Laura. And let me apologize to everyone. I sound a little bad. I'm a bit under the weather today. So I wanted to take this first opportunity to just talk a little bit about some of my goals for the TDL Preservation Services, and then also briefly about where we are right now with the Texas Data Repository. So I'm going to start talking about Texas Digital Libraries Preservation Services. So I'm really trying to focus on this first bullet here as kind of my leading theory that TDL is a creative hub for digital preservation collaboration in Texas. So with that in mind, my intention is to provide expanded support, inspiration, and leadership in Texas. And even more than that, I would like to see Texas lead the country in strategic collaborative efforts towards distributed digital preservation. Texas is already doing so much great stuff. And when I say distributed digital preservation, I mean distributing digital preservation across multiple services, multiple institutions, and multiple technologies to achieve preservation goals. So with that in mind too, I'm really focusing not on the goals of, myself or TDL, but on the goals of our members. So I am doing consultations right now, starting with users of DuraCloud and the Texas Preservation Node at Deepin. And then I'm going to expand those consultations to talk about digital preservation at all of our member institutions in April. So if you haven't heard from me yet, if you're not a user of DuraCloud or Deepin with us, then you'll hear from me in April, and hopefully we'll be able to have a conversation about what you're working on with regard to digital preservation or how you'd like to get started if you're not working on anything yet. I'm also looking to establish Texas-centric levels of preservation so that we can support success for our members at every level. So again, no matter what you're doing or not doing yet, we want to be able to support that better. And so if you're familiar with the NDSA's levels of preservation, I'm going to use those as a basis and really try to build something similar in Texas. I'd also like to add workshops, webinars, and share resources more across our member community. Another thing that I feel strongly about is that the technology that we're using for these preservation services should be far less visible. So this is the idea that yes, we're providing DuraCloud, and yes, we're providing TPN. But what I want to do is make those services clear in their purpose and in the context of this greater digital preservation landscape. So sorry. Part of what I'm working on when I'm talking to members is I want to understand member workflows so that we can make sure that the preservation services we offer, regardless of the technology, interoperates with those workflows locally. And so a little more detail here. I want to help members also simplify their digital preservation workflows. This is something I have a lot of experience working with. I have a history in working with digital preservation systems over the last several years. I've worked with open source digital preservation systems and integrated multiple systems, including Archivematica and DuraCloud, for instance. So what I want to do is, after looking and talking with all of our members and understanding what they're doing, I want to provide kind of generic examples and help our partners build their inventories of their digital preservation content, and then help them prioritize where they need to make changes and where they need to build out new workflows and use different tools. I also want to define and help recognize levels of accomplishment from, again, that aspirational level. Maybe nothing much is getting done yet, or it doesn't feel like you're accomplishing much, but you really want to do better, to really advanced. And we do have multiple members who are, again, like I said earlier, doing amazing stuff with digital preservation right now. I'm going to take a sip of water. I also really want to showcase Texas digital preservation work nationally and internationally. As I mentioned in my first goal, I want us to really lead. And one of the ways I want to do that is with a public roadmap, which I'll have ready probably by sometime in April, which I'll share widely. I want to do all my work, in fact, transparently and share all of it widely. So even my own strategic planning efforts, right now I'm still information gathering and really putting things together, but very soon you'll be seeing more from me that you can look at and actually know what I'm working on with our partners. I want to have a seat at the table. And what I mean by that is these national digital preservation efforts that are going on. I want Texas to have a say, and I want us to be involved. So I'm going to work at that as much as I can. And this next bullet here about collaboration with national and international digital preservation projects is one way to do that and get that seat at the table. So I'll be looking at new grant and partnership opportunities. I've already had a lot of great ideas coming from the member conversations that I've been doing. I want to engage with projects that are ongoing. We're currently already talking with Chronopolis about potentially becoming a Chronopolis node, and you'll hear more about that very soon. I've just joined the Texas Archivematica user group, which I'm very excited about. Over the course of my last several years, whether at the Internet Archive or at Artifactual Systems with Archivematica, I've been paying close attention to the Hydra project, and now Haiku, which was Hydra in a Box, and Wasapi, which is web archiving APIs. So all of these projects are projects that will impact the work that we do in Texas, and I want to make sure that we're ready to work with them in any way we can. And of course, this isn't everything. These are just some examples. Finally, with regard to preservation services in Texas, I want to expand them so that we can include, again, web archives preservation. So if you're using a system to collect web archives right now, but you're relying on a service to preserve it, we would like to provide that preservation aspect. So again, looking at a larger landscape of digital preservation.
Hey, Courtney, I think your audio may have cut out just a little bit.
And darn it. Am I back?
Yes, it sounds like you're back. Thank you.
Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. How long was I gone? Okay, great. Thank you, Laura. I appreciate that. Okay, so I think I got the last bullet there done. So my last slide here is about the TDL TDR actually. So what I'm interested in with regard to the Texas Data Repository is elevating Texas, specifically Texas research. Dataverse, of course, is our first step here, and it's a powerful tool to preserve citable data sets. We want the TDL services to expand over time based on member needs with regard to data preservation. And we want to align anything that we do with regard to the TDR to our digital preservation services that I just talked quite a lot about how I plan on expanding. We just set a date. I'm so excited for the first Texas Data Repository Steering Committee. The first meeting is going to be later this month, I believe on the 24th. And the steering committee is going to provide guidance for the TDR, and that means Dataverse and beyond. So whatever else we decide to do to expand our research data services in the future will be guided by that steering committee. We're also looking at the steering committee as sort of a template for possibly having steering committees for our larger preservation services. And again, I want to focus on that steering committee and everything we do with the TDR being totally transparent to the larger TDL community. And finally, I think my voice is going to hold out for this. We want to help members achieve their own data goals. So in the same way with our digital preservation services, I'm reaching out to members who have opted into the TDR already. And I want to find out how they choose to be, how they're choosing to use it, how it fits into what they're already working on. I also want to use those consultations to begin compiling resources so that I can provide access to those for all of our members. I think we're all better if we share the work that we've already done on research data and help each other out, and we can really lift each other up here. I also want to develop, like with the digital preservation services, new workshops and community collaboration opportunities. So you'll be hearing more about that over the course of the year. And finally, I'll be participating in the Dataverse community on behalf of TDL. So anything that we experience at the Texas Data Repository, I'll be able to feed back up into the larger Dataverse community. And of course, our members are encouraged to do that directly as well. But I do hold that, I think that's very important to participate back with these kinds of systems that we implement for our preservation and data preservation services. So that's just a really wide, broad set of things that I'm starting to do. Again, I'm still in the information gathering phase, and I want to thank you all for putting up with the fact that I'm struggling a bit here with my voice, and just tell you finally that I'm really excited to talk with you all personally and really work closely with you over the next couple of years on really building out and making Texas Digital Library members leaders in digital preservation and in data preservation in the US. I'll hand it back to Laura.
Thank you so much, Courtney. That's really exciting to hear. And thank you for struggling through with us today too. We appreciate it. Well, just a few other awards. I'm sorry, announcements today. Excuse me, I got a little excited. And my sincere apologies. I see now that I have the wrong year. We are extremely excited to congratulate our 2017 TDL Award winners this year. All of these award winners will be recognized at the 2017 Texas Conference on Digital Libraries in May. This year we had a number of outstanding nominations. I will say a record number, in fact, and our committee had a lot of very difficult decisions to make. So I just wanted to point out that we really appreciate all of the nominations. Please keep those coming because we hope to be able to acknowledge more people every year. But this year we're really excited to say the Excellence in Digital Libraries went to the Texas A&M Vario 4 Rewrite Development Team. And our Leadership in Digital Libraries Award, Mark Phillips at the University of North Texas. The TDL Service Award, Stephanie Larison at Texas State University. The Trailblazer Award was the SAVE Development Group at Texas Tech University. Really neat project. And then the Innovative Outreach Award for the Digital Frontiers project and annual conference, which is led by Spencer Corrales at University of North Texas Libraries. And our newest award this year, the Graduate Student Excellence in Digital Libraries, was Catherine Van Winkle at the UT Austin Um, and yeah, we just had a number of wonderful nominations, so thank you. And we look forward to recognizing more folks next year as well. And a huge thank you to the TDL Awards Committee. Again, the 2017 TDL Awards Committee. My apologies for that typo, but we had Narissa Lindsay, the chair this year from Texas A&M International, Luis Kidder from UT Medical Branch, Cyan Brannon from University of North Texas, Sarah Potvin from Texas A&M, and Aaron Choate from University of Texas at Austin. So these are really a great way to recognize your colleagues and yourself. We do accept self-nominations, so we'll have the next round next year, but thank you so much for everyone on that committee and all the nominations. So also just a reminder that the Texas Conference on Digital Libraries will be May 23rd through the 25th at the Commons Learning Center here in Austin. We'll be sending out proposal notifications by the end of this week. The committee has just been wrapping that up, so those will be going out in the next couple of days. But also the early bird registration deadline, which TDL members of course get an extra discount, but that'll be April 14th. And we do have some special hotel rates that will be available through April 24th. So if you haven't already made your travel plans, now's a good time to do that. And we'll have keynote speaker Mike Casey this year, the Director of Technical Operations for Indiana University's Media Digitization and Preservation Initiative, and a number of wonderful workshops, including one pre-conference workshop about Hydra with some folks from a digital curation experts group. So we'll have more about that program before the next TDL Forum, but just be sure to go ahead and register because it's a great lineup this year. So also we had a recent webinar series laying the foundation for research data services, and our own Christy Park led that along with Santi Thompson from University of Houston and Peace Williamson from UT Arlington. This was a 3-part workshop, and we wanted to mention that the recordings of all of those webinars are now available in the TDL DSpace repository. So if you missed any of those or are interested in learning more, and just feel free to view those there. And we also have those links available on the TDL.org website. And if you were able to attend those webinars, we also have a post-webinar questionnaire. It's very short, 5-question survey, just to get some input and kind of gather your feedback about that webinar series. So if you have a few minutes and want to add your thoughts about the webinars, we would very much appreciate it. Finally, the UT Austin Libraries are co-hosting a Humanities Intensive Learning and Teaching Institute this summer. That'll be in June the 5th through the 8th. This is a very prestigious and amazing event that works with faculty working in humanities and also librarians that are working with those faculty. And there will be a number of great workshops. There's more information about the programming for that and also how to register on this website. And we wanted to pass that along in case we have any of our librarian members interested in that, or if you'd like to share that with any faculty that you know that might be interested. And finally, the TDL team will be in several different places over the next few weeks. Well, Christy just returned from a trip to UT Southwestern yesterday. And my apologies, that is not in San Angelo, Texas. Wow, it obviously is spring break. I will need to clean up these slides a little bit. Okay. But also, Ryan will be at Angelo State University next week, which is in San Angelo. And also, Courtney will be at an LDCX conference at Stanford University later this month. And there's also a DuraSpace member meeting in Albuquerque, New Mexico that Christy will be at in a few weeks, and the Texas Library Association conference that Christy and Ryan will be attending in April, and that's in San Antonio. So if you are planning to be in any of those places, please let us know or keep an eye out. The TDL would like to see you. And finally, the next TDL Forum will be next month on April 19th. If you have any ideas or thoughts, I'll let you also be formulating your questions now. But that is what we have for today.
Thanks, Laura. This is Christy, and while you all are thinking of questions and putting them into the chat window, I want to say a big thank you to both Courtney and Laura for all this great work. There's so much going on with the work Courtney's doing with our members on digital preservation and the data repository, to all the community work around the awards committee and the conference committee and training and other things that Laura's doing. I'm really excited about the energy and work that's happening to build community, meaningful communities within Texas around these technologies and services that TDL is providing, and also building a community that will lead the country, will lead the nation, and really make Texas a player in some of these areas. So I really appreciate all the work that they've been doing. We're also really excited to be recognizing some outstanding work at some of our members through those TDL Awards, and look forward to telling you more about those exciting projects that have been recognized at TCDL in just a couple of months. Oh yeah, Courtney, thanks for the update about LDCX. That is, as she says, an open forum for all things digital preservation, and we're excited to have Courtney represented there. I believe it's a fairly, it's at Stanford. It's a great opportunity for us to have a voice at that forum. Are there any questions for Courtney or for any of us? It occurred to me while Laura was talking about a couple of other little visits we've made. Ryan was at West Texas A&M University up in the Panhandle earlier this month for a researcher event and forum, and represented TDL there. That was a really great event. And we love to have those opportunities when there are things going on in your libraries or at your campuses that we can participate in. We love to be invited. So we have a question from Joseph for Courtney. Besides implementing DuraCloud, how can we as TDL members best provide support and information for your efforts?
Okay. Joseph, that's a really good question. Thank you. And I look forward to talking to you. Personally, as I said, I think I really want to reach out and talk with each of our member institutions. So you will be hearing from me in probably April to set up that consultation, usually between a half hour and an hour call. And the reason I'm doing that is I want to know where all of our members are with their digital preservation efforts, because that's going to help me shape our services, again, beyond technology, which I think you touch on here a little bit when you say that clause, besides implementing DuraCloud. So I think you're on the same page. So you'll hear from me hopefully in April. We'll have a nice consultation. I'm going to be asking people who are willing to work with me. We can work together on building workflows or just share what you're already doing with me. And with regard to the second part of your question about the Texas Archivematica users group, I've just joined it. I haven't yet met with them. In fact, I just found out about it thanks to Bethany Scott a couple of weeks ago. So I'm really excited to be a part of that because, as some or all of you may already know, I helped build Archivematica from the ground up and build that community. So I am enthusiastic about the use of Archivematica in Texas and seeing it as part of Texas digital preservation workflows. So I think that's a lot of kind of to be determined kind of stuff, and I just want to help as much as I can bringing the knowledge that I have about that community and that system in particular, and the systems that we're currently running for as part of our digital preservation services. So I hope that answers your question okay. Again, still in that information gathering stage, so more detail forthcoming.
Okay, are there any other questions? Well, thanks everyone, and have a wonderful rest of the week. And we look forward to talking with you again soon.
Thanks, everybody.